Welcome back to Brain Saver by Medical Medium. I'm on chapter 30 called Brain Betrayer Foods. And Tenzyn's in a meeting, so I have to go down here to read. And this is Junie Bean over here if you haven't met him. Okay, now hold on, bubs. I'm reading a book. You can't step on the book, bubbies. Okay. He likes to follow me around, so. Alrighty. You may look at this list of brain betrayer foods and think, this is a list of what I should be eating. That's how misleading food trends and food advice can be. Some of the foods in the chapter slow down, interfere with, or even stop the healing process. Some of the foods accelerate neurological symptoms and chronic illness. Hey, Bubby, I'm gonna have to move you if you don't stop. Stop it, Bubs. And some of these foods start additional health problems. While it may seem overwhelming to try to avoid one or more of the brain betrayer foods, know that the restored health you get out of it will be more than worth it. And I can attest to this. I was like so overwhelmed, like, oh my God, literally every single thing I put in my body is harmful, but it's okay. 3 years later and I'm thriving and I'm still eager to try new recipes as someone who only eats fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, herbs, and wild foods. I don't eat anything else. And I knew I wanted to get here, but I definitely thought it was going to be miserable, and it's anything but. It's not about deprivation or judgment. You're not a good or bad person based on what you eat. Go slowly if you want. Experiment with replacing a few of the top items on this list with some of the healing brain cell foods in chapter 41, which we haven't read yet, called Brain Cell Food and Filler Food. Check out the Craving Shifter Brain Shot in chapter 42, Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy for support. Consider a 10-day brain shot therapy cleanse option from chapter 43, or a 15-day heavy metal detox cleanse option from chapter 45, knowing that you could someday work up to any of the longer cleanse options in those chapters if you wish. You can also find over 100 health-promoting recipes in this book's companion titled Brain Saver Protocols, Cleanses, and Recipes, which I've referenced many times. Keeping those recipes nearby along with the brain cell foods list in this book will remind you that you have delicious alternatives to the brain betrayer foods in this chapter. Find detailed explanations of these brain betrayer foods and brain saver protocols, cleanses, and recipes. These foods are listed with the worst at the top. If you're sick or suffering and looking for relief, start by avoiding the foods at the top of this list. As you seek more healing, you can continue to work your way down the list. Okay, Bubby, you're gonna have to get off then. Number 1 food, and there is, looks like 20 that he's listed. Number 1 food to get rid of if you're sick and suffering is eggs. Number 2 is dairy, including milk, cheese, butter, ghee, yogurt, cream, and kefir. And he does go into why, probably later in this book, but he goes into why on almost every book. Number 3 is gluten. Number 4 is caffeine, including coffee, green tea, matcha, chocolate, and cacao. Number 5 is alcohol, consumed more than occasionally. Number 6 is vinegar, including apple cider vinegar or ACV. Number 7 is pork products, including ham, bacon, sausage, pancetta, canned pork product, lard, pulled pork, pork chops, pork belly, and pork rinds. Number 8 is tuna. Number 9 is corn, including corn products such as corn syrup or corn starch. Number 10 is industrial food oils, including vegetable oil, palm kernel oil, canola oil, rapeseed oil, corn oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, peanut oil, hydrogenated oils, and margarine. Number 11 is kombucha. Number 12 is nutritional yeast. Number 13 is soy, including tofu, edamame, soy milk, soy sauce, miso, soybeans, soy nuts, textured vegetable proteins or TVP, soy protein powder, and artificial meat products made with soy. Number 14 is GMO or bioengineered foods. Number 15 is bone broth. Number 16 is problematic fish and seafood, including catfish, red snapper, striped bass, bluefish, swordfish, grouper, clams, oysters, mussels, shrimp, crab, lobster, squid, octopus, scallops, flounder, tilapia, and shark. Number 17 is lamb. Number 18 is salt, including high quality varieties. Number 19 is fermented foods, including sauerkraut, pickled preserves, sourdough, cheese, and yogurt, animal or plant-based. Number 20 is grains eaten in an unproductive way, meaning grains, even gluten-free, eaten with fats. So let's pause there. So no worries now to get overwhelmed if you eat any of these products, which you probably do, of course. No reason to feel overwhelmed. This is just a start, so you're aware, okay? It's no mystery how brain betrayer foods enter our lives. We eat and drink them. What does sometimes sneak up on us is how much of them we eat. For example, it's easy to eat a high-fat diet because we've been dazzled by the high-protein trend, not stopping to think or even realizing that protein sources are almost always fat sources too. On top of which, now we're being told that lots of fat is good for us. So we pile more fats onto our plates or into our blenders as we make our trendy smoothies with no idea that we're doing our brains a disservice. Some of these items, such as canola oil, nutritional yeast, and corn, frequently make it into our meals without our knowledge. Anytime you see that an oil blend is being used, be aware that there's a good chance it contains one of these brain betrayers. Even oils labeled as pure are sometimes diluted with canola or corn oil, so seek out high quality oil whenever possible, and even better, limit your use of oil in general to keep your fat consumption lower to protect your body and brain. The main issue with most of these brain betrayer foods is that they feed viruses in the body, such as EBV, and bacteria, such as Streptococcus. Viruses and bacteria that many people unknowingly harbor in dormant form. These viruses and bacteria can come out of dormancy if they receive the right fuel. Some of these foods don't directly feed viruses and bacteria. Instead, usually, because of their high fat content, these other foods foster an environment in our body that allows pathogens to thrive. Either way, whether a food directly feeds pathogens or fosters a hospitable environment for pathogens, the food doesn't help us thrive. Viruses and bacteria especially proliferate when we're eating eggs, milk, cheese, butter, and all other dairy products, gluten, soy, pork, corn, or even an overall high-fat diet. As you read in chapter 4, Your Viral Brain, publicly known medical research and science aren't aware that viruses eat. Viruses do eat, and that's how they stay alive. They don't exist on mystical energy. Viruses stay active by absorbing unproductive chemical compounds through their outer membranes. Viruses then process whatever they take in and release it as waste matter, such as neurotoxins and dermatoxins. When they reach the central nervous system, these neurotoxins cause hundreds of symptoms and conditions. Some of these brain betrayer foods themselves are also not good for the brain. We're often told eggs are good for the brain because of their omegas. We're not told that because eggs are filled with hormones that intercept healthy hormones involved with the brain, any benefit is outweighed. Same goes for dairy. Even eggs and dairy sourced farm fresh from organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, and or free-range cows and chickens contain hormones that intercept and confuse the hormones involved in our system. Caffeinated foods and beverages are acidic, dehydrating, and hard on the central nervous system, plus they tire out the adrenals. Vinegars are acidic and create chronic dehydration. Brain betrayer foods with MSG, such as nutritional yeast, interfere with neurotransmitter activities and neuron strength. Remember, you can read more about these brain betrayer foods in this book's companion, Brain Saver Protocol, Cleanses and Recipes. That's the end of this chapter. It does end with a quote. Decades go by, generations go by, as we take the wrong steps for our health. History repeats itself. Trends get recycled over and over. And every 5 years, there's a new round of people who aren't feeling well and are ready to buy into the seemingly smart advice about our brains. Anthony Williams, Medical Medium. Now that was the end of this entire part. Now we're gonna go to part IV. I don't know what that is, like 3, 4. Give me a moment. So this was the end of part 3. Now IV is going into part 4, called Brain Invasion. So we're going to read about the true causes of anxiety, depression, eating disorders, OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar, and Alzheimer's and dementia. So if that sounds interesting to you, or you're struggling or suffering with one of these conditions, go ahead and like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified when I post. So I think that's it for today. Yeah, this is really exciting. We're gonna go into some of the huge struggles that people face in this world. I mean, anxiety is huge. Depression is huge. It looks like it's going to be a really long chapter. So yeah, come on to the next part of this series. Bye for now.